Hi everyone, it's March 6, 2012, and this is my favorite street in Copenhagen, if not the world. There's something about it that just really evokes an old world feeling to it. I think it may have been a border of the city at one point. Just from the first time I walked it years ago, and up until the present, I think very highly of it, so I'm going to try to get as steady of an image as I can, but that's really hard for me to do. If you can see the half-timbered look on the building across the road, it's called Fachwerk in German. And undoubtedly has German roots to it. I think that there's kind of a Hanseatic influence in the architecture on this road. Copenhagen is quite romantic at night, before people really start going out and doing everything. It's very maritime, very cozy. There's lots of little scenes happening down these various roads. Or really, they're more like glorified alleys. And these very old buildings. I don't know. Well, even though it doesn't look like it to most Anglo-centric or Franco-centric viewers, this is 17th century mostly, I believe. And for the most part, they've retained the look, although the Wi-Fi speed and all the modern conditions can be found. But you'll just see lots of little scenes here, and there are a lot of restaurants in the basement. And what they do is they have this door that goes over the stairs, and there would be no possibility of entering the restaurant if you were just walking by and didn't want to, if you wanted to try to get in. This isn't quite what I'm speaking of, but you get the idea. It's similar to that. It would be hard to break and enter. This is sort of on the way to Parliament, and where there are canals. I don't think that I'll be able to get everything of Copenhagen for you, because it's just not really possible, and it's very, very expensive for me to get to the city daily. This is not really a traveler-friendly place in terms of cost, because their wages are very high in comparison, and if you're trying to come in working with another currency, it's just not good. I'll take you back into some of these back streets, and I'll see if there's any little scenes that I can show you. I really have a lot of admiration for the culture here, but it is one of consensus, very insular, and if you happen to be Australian and watching, or someone who knows a lot about Australia, there's something there called tall poppy syndrome, and there's an equivalent of that in Denmark as well. It's called the Jante law, which is a series of farcical tenets that are actually applicable to how people think here, although it's not a conscious effort. What it means is that they don't really like individuality in a competitive way. And by that I mean you don't really want to stand out or come off as obstinate to whatever the group wants, or you're going to be shunned. Oh, we were complaining about that at the cafe earlier when I met two of my friends, and they like a lot of the Mediterranean countries in Europe, and even Switzerland or the UK in comparison, because there's more autonomy and you can express yourself more freely than you can here, where you kind of have to watch your back in that way. I'll have to see if I can link the tenets of the Jante law to you, but a lot of celebrities in Australia have complained about this condition. See, here's another basement restaurant, and you see that they're all full, even though it's a Tuesday night, and people are willing to pay $40 a head to have dinner out. Although if you go out to the suburbs, that's not the case at all. Like, people would pretty much stay home. At any rate, in Australia, you don't want to sing your own praises too much. And if you're successful abroad, people will not like it. The singer Kylie Minogue went through this a lot, and it wasn't until her career was way down in the tubes in the 90s that Australians started to take ownership of her as an Australian. For Denmark, I got into this earlier with Gitte Nielsen. She dated all of these Hollywood actors and had been to the White House and so on. And people here do not like it if you're having too much fun and you're seemingly not regulated by consensus. However, if you have sort of a collectivist attitude and act like you're surrendering things and have profound modesty, then people will celebrate you. Or at least you have to give the appearance of doing those things. This is the longest shopping street again. It's quite dead at the moment. All my favorite places are gone. I don't think that they were churning the kind of profit that's necessary to stay in this town now. And Baresso is the equivalent of the Danish Starbucks, although I don't know if their parent company is in Denmark. And we're back to a place that you have already seen. Oh, that's the jazz club. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.